Hello, this is wmpyr. For today's lesson, I want to share with you my thoughts, my own interpretation of basically two videos that I saw. Both of them were by world famous martial arts instructors, and basically it was a knife instructional video. Two totally separate videos. So anyway, the first one was older, and then the second one was a little bit newer. All right, and the first one to me covered basically strategy, how a knife combat situation would actually look in real life, and concepts. Okay, so he painted a really good picture of all that right there. And then for solo training purposes, he showed the 5 angles of attack. So the 5 angles of attack that he showed was, like I said, very basic stuff, good stuff. And then from there, he went into partner drills, which for solo training, for you sitting at home and to practice there by yourself, it's really not going to help you. So let me just show the 5 angles of attack, which is good solid basics. It's just 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Okay, so it's a diagonal, diagonal, horizontal, horizontal, and then a stab right there. Okay, so and also the way he did it was very dynamic. It was just like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 right there. So maybe you could add that kind of body mechanics to it, make it very dynamic. He really put in a lot of power into each strike. Okay, so that's the 5 angles of attack. That's what he showed. I think from here we can move on to the next instructor. And what this guy showed was actually different, and in my opinion, more advanced, because it involves figure eights. All right. Personally, what I like to do is I like to teach the circle. Okay, the circle concept before going into the figure eight, because a figure eight to me is 2 circles put together. So it's like a combination of circles, multiple circles. Okay, so in order to get there, I feel like you have to know the circle first. But anyway, like I said, he presented the figure eight stuff, so let's do that. Okay, so right here, this is what he first started off, or one of the things that he included right here was this one. And he called this a downwards figure eight because you're cutting downwards, and I like it. I call it a topside figure eight, but I like downwards figure eight too. It makes sense to me. You're cutting downwards, downwards. And then he called this one upwards because you're going upwards. Okay, so these are the two basic figure eights right there. Okay, works well. Nice and basic stuff right here. That is not difficult. Beginners learn that, not a problem. But then this next part is kind of the, I don't want to say crazy part, but this horizontal slashing right here, horizontal, horizontal, but there's a figure eight there. Okay, so what he did was you're going slightly diagonal up right here, you curve down, and slightly diagonal back that way, and curve down. And that's your figure eight. It's just a really flattened figure eight. To be able to manipulate the size of the figure eight where you squish it down and make it very, very horizontal like that, to me is, like I said, more on the advanced side. Okay, so 1, 2, just like this. So you're going horizontal, back and forth, but there is a figure eight involved. Okay, so he showed this one. Basically, you could do it up here. You could do it in the middle. And then, of course, you could do it low, where you're taking out the knees and the legs and stuff. Okay, so, but it's horizontal. Horizontal done 3 different levels. And the next one that he showed was actually, he wanted to focus on this diagonal line where you're going this way, and then you're coming back this way. So we did do the diagonal with this downwards figure eight, but what he's showing right here is diagonal where you're coming in this direction and coming back on that same line. All right, exactly on that same line, even though we did do upwards diagonals and downwards diagonals. So to do this one right here, where you're coming like this, where you're following the same line, once again, this is a figure eight pattern right here. So this is coming diagonal here, and then it's going to curve. Okay, it's going to curve right here and come back this way, and it curves this way. So it comes down, curves, and comes up, and curves, and that creates, once again, a very flattened figure eight, but on a diagonal line. So what you did horizontally, you're just doing it now diagonally. Okay, so same thing over here. Okay, on this line over here, you're just going back and forth like this, but you are creating, once again, a figure eight motion. So it comes here, it curves down, comes up, and it curves right here. So once again, a flattened figure eight, all right? So that is his contribution right there, is to go from just the 5 angles of attack, which were just, you know, these very basic lines, to now let's make them more circular. So he went into the figure eight motions there. The next thing that he did was he included the thrusts, all right? The thrusts with the slashes, actually. So that's the next evolution, should I say. But the way he presented it may have been a little bit difficult for some people. So what I want to do is kind of change what he presented, still along the same concept, okay? And we're going to thrust up here, okay? And you can come down this way. So thrust and come down. That's number 1. Okay, number 2 is thrust this way, sideways right here. So you're coming this way. Boom. Number 3 is thrusting down, and you're going upwards. Like from the bottom position, you come in from the bottom. That's what I meant by down, and you're going upwards like an uppercut. So I just covered all 3 on the right side. So up here, bam, middle, bam, and then bottom right here, bam, like that. So 1, 2, and 3. So now you can do the exact same thing on the other side over here. You can come here, bam, like this, bam, sideways, and go upwards, diagonal this way again. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. All right, same idea, just right and left. Okay, so what he did after that was, like I said, he combined the thrusting with the slashes, and right away went into freeform. And once again, I think that is definitely difficult to do, especially if you're just watching this for the first time and you haven't really put in a whole lot of practice. I feel like what he showed was really good stuff, but it covers a long kind of span of training period, but he covers it really, really quick. I do the same thing, but I want to emphasize that each step should take a long time, that you need to practice. Like just the figure eight stuff alone should take you months right there of practice, okay? And then now going from the stab right here to slash, like this. Okay, so you're going to stab to slash, stab, and then slash, stab from here, and then slash. Okay, stab, slash, stab, and slash, and stab, and slash. All right, so I just covered 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5, and 6 right there. Now, if you are looking at this this form right here where you're stabbing and slashing, it's not that complicated. So you could definitely start practicing this as you're doing the figure eight stuff. Okay, you can. But when you go into free form, now that's going to be a lot more difficult, and you're combining this kind of figure eight motion with the stab and the slash right there, and coming in, you know, and doing stuff like that, and you're stabbing and slashing. Then it becomes a lot more complicated, and I definitely recommend not to jump that quickly into free form. So anyway, thank you for watching, and take care, folks.